So, bought my son a Segway at Fred Meyer's just today. Brand new Segway, out of the box, was brand spanking new. And he started riding it 5 minutes into it. I mean, he knows how to ride it because he's been riding his friend's Segway for a couple of weeks now. He started riding it, and 2 minutes into it, all of a sudden there's some scratching noise every time he goes around and whatever. So it does scratching noise. So I start looking at it. It gets worse and worse. Start looking at it, and these screws right here on the wheels are all loose. I mean, I tried all of them. There are 6 or 8, I can't remember, but all of them were coming out, and 2 or 3 of them were completely out, so they were shredding right inside, you know, where the plastic is. So I'm like, all right. So I took them all out, put a thread lock on it, tightened them back up, and then I thought to myself, well, if these screws are loose, let's see what's inside. I mean, maybe there's some damaged wires or whatever. So I opened one side, and I'm telling you guys, this thing is 10 minutes old. Look at these wires. My son is playing some music in there. So these 2 wires that are smashed all the way through the insulation were jammed right here under, between the cover and under the screws. They were pretty much going right across. So as you can see, bare wire, and the yellow one all smashed. That's just the beginning. So I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna put them together so they don't get on the way, and I'm gonna continue going at it. We're gonna take the second cover off, see what's underneath. So took second side apart. Yes, Jonah. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not his Segway. So anyway, took the second half apart, and I mean, it's cleaner on this side. I didn't see any wires that are smashed or whatever. I noticed there was a couple of pieces of plastic falling off, so I noticed this part right here where you put the screw through was all broken off because it was over tightened. But then I noticed those screws right there inside, and I'm pointing out right there, they're loose. I mean, if you look at it, there's some space underneath, and on the other side the screw is halfway unscrewed. So you kind of want to go inside there and here, and I'll probably, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through this whole thing and tighten up the screws. So continue a few minutes later. So I went over pretty much. Let me tell you this, guys, if you know what you're doing, if you're good with a screwdriver and you're careful and you're capable of unscrewing 6 screws on the cover, it's pretty much for 8 screws on the cover, and pulling cover off, it's simple. You just pull the cover off. If you're capable of doing that, I recommend you to do it, because all of the screws were loose. Some of them are just barely tightened, some of them half a turn from being tightened up. All of them were loose. I mean, I had to go through and spend a few minutes and just tighten up all the screws. I mean, I'm not talking about cranking them up all the way, but just getting them to the point where they're not gonna come apart. So, and after getting everything done, I'm about to put it together, and I start looking at it real closely. And here's where you see all of them catch, the ones that you see with the problems, catching on fire, whichever, burning up, exploding. I found kind of why this happens. So this power right here, that's what comes out of your battery. This is all the juice. I mean, this thing carries a lot of juice. This is all your power, goes to the other side, powers the board. So all your communications that are going to the control board and all that stuff, they're all protected with this rubber boot over the wires. So all the wires are going through, and this thing is, don't forget guys, this thing is always on the move, left and right, up and down. All the wires that are going through are protected. These 2 wires right here, you can even tell, I mean, they're not protected, so they're against this edge right here, kind of sharp, and you can see that they're starting to rub off. So all your power, all your juice that's going through here, and this thing, it's in the constant your wires are getting exposed, and once this powerhouse grounds to this block, that's where you see the big explosion and your top plate just flying off and cutting your head off. Just, you know. But yeah, so if you're good with tools and you know how to use a screwdriver, get one of these guys, take the cover off, and put some tape on, put some kind of shield on, protect this power cable that's going from here to here. Through that, you can unplug it here, pull it back out, tape it, put it back in. That should take care of it. And I mean, again, I'm not telling you everyone open up your Segways, but if you know what you're doing and you want to make this thing last, giddy up. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy my video. Stick around, subscribe, like it please, and if I find anything else, I'll post some more. Thank you. Bye bye.